Howdy everyone, welcome to my retro media room, and today I decided I wanted to take a look at some of my PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 box sets. So I for movies and games, I just love box sets in general. I don't know why, I just have a fascination with sets that are made with, whether it be franchises or in this case, these are like in this one being sports games. I like compilations of anything I can get a hold of. So, all right, well, then we'll take a look at some of these that I have here. Now, this is sealed, and what I'm going to do is, this one I just obviously keep like this. So, luckily, we have one that is not sealed, so we can actually take a look at it here. Now, there's a line of these PlayStation collector's editions. So, I don't have every single one of them, but I have quite a few of them, and I really like these. They're very cool. Uh, I like, I appreciate the white theme and the collector's edition. And of course, these, I don't, I definitely like, I appreciate sports games. I don't play them as religiously as some people do, but, definitely appreciate having them in general, and especially the older ones now, some of the classic ones. Got NASCAR, got Madden 2002, which is, which is funny because this is literally PlayStation 1 Madden when PlayStation 2 was around. So PlayStation 1 actually went on for quite some time even after PlayStation 2 was out. That's sports games there. Next, we'll look at, so we got some Army Men Gold Collector's Edition, which has 3D Air Attack and Sarge's Heroes. And these Army Men games were actually quite cool. They came out with a bunch of these back in the day, and they're not all like AAA title or anything, but there's some good ones though. There's some pretty good ones. Actually, the layout of this one makes a little bit more sense because the other one they were all in. I get it, like this is kind of like they're in this way, and because the spine, but I kind of like it where they pull out in this direction. Sarge's Heroes and Air Attack. So yeah, Sarge's Heroes. This is definitely one of the better ones. I actually want to have I think there was the 64 version and or Dreamcast version. I can't remember. I'd have to look into it. But Sarge's Heroes is a cool third-person game. Okay, and we have Sled Storm, Need for Speed 3, and NASCAR Rumble. That's another one. It's funny how I'll have to figure out what the actual original way these are in with the sealed. I'll figure it out. I'll look closely at the sealed one and see which way that they are supposed to go in. I'll figure that out. For now, just pop them back in there. Start putting them over here. Okay, and next, this is one that's a little bit more valuable, a little bit more sought after, the Crash Bandicoot. This one is definitely one I'm glad to have, and is not cheap to get nowadays. Got Crash Bash, Crash Team Racing, which was kind of a pretty solid answer to Mario Kart for the time, and Crash 3 Warped, which is arguably the best OG Crash game, because Crash 3 was really well made. 1 and 2 are great too, but 3 is really something else. So I remember critics loved it at the time. Now here's a very cool one, Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, this guy, I was really glad to get a hold of this, and this is harder to get a hold of nowadays as well. So you got the OG Grand Theft Auto, and Grand Theft Auto 2, and Grand Theft Auto, the Mission Pack 1 London. This is back when, a lot of people, they're so used to Grand Theft Auto, what it is since Grand Theft Auto 3, but this is back with the overhead camera, back when it was only semi 3D. It was kind of a 2D, 3D overhead camera view, so it's very different. And now I don't have the Tomb Raider one. Finally, I have this one right here, which is also cool, the 007 Racing Medal of Honor and Tomorrow Never Dies, which is the third-person Bond game on PlayStation, which 64 never had any third-person. Racing, Medal of Honor, which of course is what started it all with the World War II shooters. Very good game. Thanks Steven Spielberg for that. This has a cracked case. I'll replace that. And Never Dies, which was one of the earlier, if not the first, third-person Bond shooter before the likes of From Russia with Love and so on Xbox and PlayStation 2 and stuff later on. So that's all the PlayStation 1 box sets I have here. Now next we have some of the PlayStation 2 ones, such as the Metal Gear Solid Essential Collection. This is neat because, I mean, yeah, it's just standard versions of 2 and 3, but it's actually kind of neat that it has the first one in it. So it's PlayStation 1 discs in a PlayStation 2 case. So it's pretty interesting. I like having this. And of course, you got 2, which technically it's not the standard case because it has this back art instead of it having, you know, like the information on the back like it normally would. And then 3, which that's, from what I remember, that's a alternate box art. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. I'm just not putting these in properly. I'll fix them later. Okay, so next we have Resident Evil Essentials. So this is neat because now, of course, there's no... I don't even think the Metal Gear Solid had much... Well, I had a little bit. Metal Gear Solid had this on the back here. Yeah, in frame there. And this doesn't have that. It's just a plain box, but it's cool. I like this artwork. And I don't think it might have had an additional outside to the box. I'm not 100% on that. I don't think it does, but so first there's a sealed copy of Outbreak, PlayStation 2 exclusive. It had its online functionality and flawed game, but it was a very good looking game, and it was pretty interesting for Resident Evil at the time. And it was a kind of, you know, it was definitely an interesting for what, you know, PlayStation's flavor of Resident Evil at the time, because that was when the GameCube had almost all the Resident Evils. And you got Code Veronica, the PS2 port. Of course, neat to have it in Black Label. Of course, you know, Code Veronica is certainly, you know, perfectly fine playing it on PS2. I kind of, at this point, I like the 360 version backwards compatible on Series X. That's kind of my way to go back and play that. And then, of course, you have the all-time great Resident Evil 4. And, of course, PlayStation 2 version was quite interesting since they added separate ways, which became the standard and is now separate ways on the current remake of Resident Evil 4. They had to dumb this game down to run on PS2, but it's still a solid way to play the game, of course. You know, it's just, you know, they had to dumb down the graphics and the sound and stuff to get it to run properly. But considering, you know, they made it work a year later after it came out on GameCube. Okay, now, and then you have Hitman Trilogy. This box set here. These are definitely cool games. Oh, you know, these are... Oh, that's right. So it doesn't have the first one, technically. It's got Hitman 2. And then it goes into Contracts, which I've never played. I think I played 2 a little bit. And then it goes into Blood Money. So I got this for fairly cheap. It's just cool to have. Any excuse to have a box set, I'm all for it. Oh yeah, that's a Kane and Lynch DVD, which was a 360 game and or should be PS3 game as well. So it's probably like a video demo of all that. So that's cool. All right, and finally, for our last guy here, we have, it's sealed, so I'm not going to open it for now, but the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. So it's fine. I have Grand Theft Auto PS1. I have the Grand Theft Auto box PS2. And of course, it's got 3, Vice City and San Andreas. And there you have it. I got this at Walmart for $30 back when it was still on the regular shelves, and I've just kept it ever since. You know, I play these games in different methods, and even though the San Andreas is kind of the OG version code of the game, so, but I think I want to say I have another copy of it somewhere, but anyway. All right. I just want to take a look at some of these box sets because I think they're cool. I love compilations. I love box sets, and these are some of my PlayStation ones. So I hope you like it. Like and comment and tell me what you think. And if anything, have a nice day. I'll see you all later.